welcome back to the channel. A bit under weather at the moment, stuffed full of some cold, flu, pneumonia, leprosy sort of thing, man thing. But just to catch you up on some of the stuff that I've been acquiring over the past few months, or month or so, since last time I spoke to you. Not the one a couple of days ago. I'm rambling. But let's just show you some CDs that I bought. No particular order, I've got them all stacked up here. First of all though, I've been wanting it for a while. I got the Entrada Life Force by Henry Mancini last year. I couldn't afford to get the Michael Kamen one that was released at the same time. Have that now though. So got the pair of them. So quite pleased with that. So the complete score and tons of music. But Life Force, mad as a box of frogs, film, stupendous score. Henry Mancini, Michael Kamen. Get it. Finally got Enemy at the Gates by James Horner. Lovely score. It's been a while since I've seen that film, I have to catch up with that. It's been recommended to me by Eric Woods and various other people, but I've actually got the re-recording of Lawrence of Arabia by the City of Prague Philharmonic. James Fitzpatrick produced it. 2 CDs. He's got the complete score on CD1 and then various other Maurice Jarre stuff on CD2. Ryan's Daughter, Resurrection, Firefox. Awful film, but great score. Three Musketeers, Michael Kamen. Again, I've only ever seen this film once when it first came out, so 30 years ago. But it's a Michael Kamen swashbuckling score. What's not to like? And I picked this up for I think about 13 pence. The Essential Jerry Goldsmith. I've got the majority of these recordings, but there are a couple of things on there that I haven't got, various arrangements and things. But it was pennies, so why not? I got Hellboy, the deluxe edition by Marco Bertolmi a few months ago. Wonderful score. So I got Hellboy 2, Danny Elfman to go with it. The 2 Guillermo del Toro Hellboy films are wonderful. The new film, not so much. I know Chaplin was released by Quartet, was it? Or La La Land recently in an expanded version, John Barry. But I picked up the original version of the score for, again, mere pennies. Never had that, just had a couple of re-recordings on compilation CDs. Howard Shore, The Aviator. I love this score. I've been listening to it on streaming and download for years, but I always wanted a physical copy, and again picked it up for pennies on eBay. Next up, now I picked this up. I found this on eBay. It was cheaper buying it new on eBay than it was to get it direct from America from La La Land. Sorry, sometimes when money's a problem, you get stuff where you can. But I got the La La Land expanded Fiddler on the Roof 3-disc version, 3 discs there, for an incredibly good price on eBay. So yeah, really chuffed with that. And it was the only Oscar-winning John Williams score I never had. I didn't have it on. I didn't have it on download. I never had a copy of it, so quite pleased to have that. Again, this was something like 10p. Either on Amazon or eBay, but I got James Newton Howard's The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. Not sure what it's like, but it was, again, pennies. I probably bought a Mars bar that was more expensive. But yeah, I'll give that a listen. Now, I know there are certain people that don't like this, but I love this, and I love the new interpretation of it. So I got the soundtrack CD to West Side Story, Steven Spielberg's new version. I love the film, and David Newman's corralling of the music, you know what I mean, was awesome. So yeah, I got a hard copy of that. Again, I've had this on tape. I've had bits of it on tape. I've had a download of this, but now the Philharmonia re-recording of Jerome Moros's music for The Big Country. It's a wonderful sounding score on this re-recording. It's best I've ever heard it sound. The Philharmonia playing is so yeah. Fablemans. I wasn't. That's not to say I wasn't a huge fan. I remember when it was first released on streaming. I listened to it and I just thought, but it is lovely. It grows on you. It's not very long, but it's a John Williams score for a Steven Spielberg film. Again, an eBay auction that I won. Amazingly, for, I'm not going to tell you, but a lot less than paying for it new, direct from Verez. Again, sorry Verez, but I got the deluxe edition of LA Confidential for less than £20, including shipping, postage, whatever you want to call it. So, well, that's cool. Finally got Michael Giacchino's Spider-Man No Way Home on a hard copy. I love Michael Giacchino. Fly the flag for him. This isn't really soundtracks. Well, you know, it's musicals, and there's been some films made of these things. But Andrew Lloyd Webber produced this symphonic suite of Evita, Sunset Boulevard, Phantom of the Opera. I just think it's fabulous sounding music. Somebody on Amazon posted, well, this is wrong. Where are all the words? And it says symphonic suite. The clues in the title. Okay, Charles Gerhard, National Philharmonic Orchestra. More re-recordings. His music is so vibrant and so exciting. I would love to have heard him do some re-recordings of the Indiana Jones films. That would have been brilliant, wouldn't it? But I got his Return of the Jedi recording. So I think that's about 45 minutes or so, 46 minutes. But if you haven't heard Charles Gerhard and his recordings of scores, they are just fabulous. Dip into that world. Was this another sale item? Or no, this was on Amazon. I got this on Amazon. I had the original season 1 soundtrack to the Orville, which is there, which I've had for a while, which I got last year, thanks to David Pensack. But I picked up the season 2. Now I believe season 3 has dropped on streaming in a massive 4.5 hour download or stream. So check that out. Orville New Horizons, I think it's called. The usual suspects plus some new ones. But Orville scores are just brilliant. Again, another real find on eBay. Another John Williams I didn't have, and I got the limited edition La La Land 2-disc version of Rosewood, and I got that for a very, very cheap price. So again, happy with that. Another re-recording, another John Debney Royal Scottish National Orchestra one, produced by Robert Townsend again. John Barry's Somewhere in Time. Lovely score. Again, it's years since I've seen the film, but it was quite a sweet film. I've heard Eric Woods talk about this and various other people. It's a Michael Kamen re-recording album, the Michael Kamen soundtrack album, and it's got all sorts of things. It's got Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Mr. Holland's Opus, Don Juan DeMarco, Circle of Friends, Crusoe, Highlander, The Next Man, The Winter Guest, Die Hard, Edge of Darkness, and Brazil. But it's fantastic recordings. Another Cincinnati Pops Telarc recording. This was again, it was pennies. So, and I've got some of these on other compilation ones, but it's got 1941. It's got the Cincinnati Pops doing 1941 and various other things. Amistad, Always, Hook, Jurassic Park, The Usual Suspects, Twilight Zone, Sugarland Express, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Parade of the Slave Children. So yeah, but again, it was pennies. I've got some of these, but it was worth it for the price I paid for it to get that. But and the Telarc Cincinnati Pops recordings are always just so dynamic. So this was an Amazon purchase, very good price. The Quartet new kind of expanded edition of Ennio Morricone's Red Sonja. More on Ennio Morricone in a minute as well. But yeah, that's a lovely score. Film, score, and a triplet of Edward Shearmur, if that's how you pronounce his name. Apologies if it's not. So I've got Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, just a good old-fashioned daring do kind of score. Johnny English, It was a fairly funny film, but it was just a very Bond-esque type score, as you might imagine. It doesn't get a lot of love, but I quite like this film. Reign of Fire. I like the score as well. That's another Varese, Robert Townsend produced score. So again, they were really, really good prices on eBay. Always look on eBay, find things, put a watch on it, and sometimes you get them for pennies. And finally, going back to Ennio Morricone, I just spat on this, by the way. Sorry about that. But I've been umming about this. But I bought the Ennio documentary. It's 2 hours and 36 minutes long, but it's a sumptuously produced documentary, and it gave me a great. I didn't know a lot about Ennio Morricone apart from the scores that I have, but it was quite an insight into quite a passionate, just musically diverse, and some odd music in there as well from when he started out. He had some quite revolutionary ways of making music. But yeah, I can thoroughly recommend that. It says on here, featuring Quentin Tarantino, Hans Zimmer, John Williams and Clint Eastwood. I thought, John Williams, oh, that's interesting. John Williams appears in it for about 12 seconds and saying, yes, Ennio wrote music. But it's a fabulous documentary. If you're a fan of Ennio, watch that. But yeah, that's it. I'll do another video soon because I've got some films that I bought recently. I'll give you a quick taster. I got the 4K version of The Great Escape, but more on that to come. But yeah, that's the latest purchases. So if you're fans of this, if you can find these things for a decent price, go out and get them. I've got a fabulous amount of music to be catching up with here. I'm very happy with these purchases. So until I see you again, stay safe and good day.